Okay, welcome. Hello, Rosemary. So nice to have you here. Please tell
Thank
us,
you.
like what inspired you to join the channeling course and, what do you
Okay.
think about it?
I loved the channeling course. I signed up because have felt for a while that I'm like in some sort of spiritual awakening and that there are messages that are deep inside of me that are trying to get out. And so after I met you, Solera, and, watched you in a couple different spaces, channeling and then had a couple sessions with you, one-on-one, I was just like, oh my gosh, when I saw that you had a course, I was like, I really want to learn how to do that. And so I really liked the self-study course, but I really found that the live course that you did was definitely next level helpful because you put it in different ways for the different students until it was almost like every student has their own way of doing it and feeling it and processing it. And so by putting it in the different ways that you did in the live class, I feel like it made it more accessible to everybody by giving those different examples. So for me, I kind of took what we learned in the first class and kind of some Akashic work I had done before. And I merged it with what you taught in the live class. So now I still go into my hall of records, but there's a wedding table there now.
Ah, that's right. I remember that example that the guys gave. Like, okay, everybody, come to the wedding.
Yeah. So then now there's like a wedding table in my Akashic Hall of Records that looks like a library, but it's like whatever, that's what's so cool about it is it's individualized for us and what works for us. And so I really love that.
Oh,
I'm really glad that you did that. I'm really glad that you did that live class. I feel like it because some students learn, better by recording. Some students learn better live, and I can learn fine just watching recordings. But for this topic specifically, I feel like I was struggling a little, and having you live really kind of clarified a lot of things for me.
Yeah, I'm so glad because I also did feel like just students needed kind of that next, like the nudge, the little push.
That's exactly what it was. A little push. Like we're all standing on the edge, a little bit scared, like, well, that sounds all good and all, but I'm not really sure. And then here you come in your fancy cape with your multicolored nails and just gave us a little. Gave us that little loving nudge.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know how these things go, right? You sometimes you join a class, it's just like you just need like a little push, be like, okay, go study. And then
Yes.
that's it, if you're a good student, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go study. And that's what happened to a lot of students. Like they actually started implementing the
Right.
exercises, right?
Yeah, me too. That's what happened with me too. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear. So what are some of the things that you've asked in there?
I asked them really basic things like, what should I do next? Just in terms of my business. Mostly it's for my business. I asked them, sometimes a little more in-depth stuff like around my family. Like, would this be a good choice for my family? Like, I mentioned my daughter had COVID. Like, should we all get tested? Should we only test, certain of us? Because there's a lot of us here and I didn't have enough tests. And that one was really interesting because, I really went deep with that one. And I usually hear the answers. That one I saw. It was a visual. It was a visual because my daughter and her boyfriend tested positive. And we had all maybe like 3 to 4 days prior to that built gingerbread houses, all of us, all 7 of us as a family. And so I was like, oh my gosh, should we all test? Like, you don't know, like every phase of this pandemic is new. Right. And so I just went really deep with the channeling. It was just like, should we all test? Cause I only have 4 and and they just kind of showed me Cassie handing a test to Dylan, who was the only one who was really near her, which was new for me. Usually it's like verbal. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, we'll just test Dylan. And so we waited a few days and we only tested Dylan because he was the only one who really had close contact and he was negative. And so then that was, reassurance that the rest of us would be negative too. So that was really a cool kind of different way for them to show me stuff, because that one was really like, I was really kind of in a, because when I channel, I try to be like open and in a good space and, not worried, but I was like in a frantic almost place. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, do we all have COVID? And anyways, and so it was just a really unique experience, but go to the same place, but just have a different experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think it's really cool that was so clear. Like you saw the image of your daughter.
Yes. Which was actually better because a lot of times, because, I'm still kind of new at this, I don't get super clear answers, especially if my mind is getting in the way.
Right. That's usually what happens.
Yeah. And I know that. And that awareness is really helpful, which was helpful also with the live class. But this one was like super clear. So, yeah.
But isn't it so exciting though? Because once you have a couple really solid channeling experiences, you can do it.
Absolutely. It gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of, it's like validation.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got this. Hey, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Have you told any of your family members or friends?
I mean, I like my Facebook friends, yes. But like not my husband or anything. Oh my God. He already thinks I'm so weird.
That's so normal.
I know.
That's cool. So what are some of the stuff that you got about your business from the records?
A lot of the same messages that I got in our one-on-one session, which was like, I'm a type A, recovering type A overachiever. And so I've been very, trying to suppress that push, that hustle energy. And so there's been kind of like some conflict within myself of, oh, I should be doing this. I should already have this. I should. And then, I really want to come at it from a place of alignment and chill and, just trusting that things are going to happen when they're supposed to. And so a lot of times my mind will say, oh, you need to do this by tomorrow. And then I'm just like, let's just chill out. Let's do our channeling and see. And, every time the message has always been, you're on the right path. Let's just calm down. What's the next best step? Just one small step versus you need to completely revamp your Instagram. You know what I mean? Like take one small step rather than some big giant reinvention of what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what the record is for. Because if it gives you like 100 steps, it's really overwhelming.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And so it's been really good about pulling me back. This is my personality as a manifested generator. I get these ideas and they're big and, oh, well, let's take a complete left turn with our whole life. And, this is my personality. And so it's been really good about reining me back in and basically keeping me on the path that it's been telling me to be on for months. Just chill. Just what you're doing. Just trust that it's going to happen and just take these small micro steps that are going to move you towards your goal, but without the hustle and the worry and the push energy. And then when that old part of me comes back, I'll just sit down and be like, okay. What do the guides have to say about this? I'm sure this is a guide of energy. So it's almost like, you grew up in America, so you've probably seen this. Did you ever see like little preschool children on a field trip where they have them all like basically tied together with a rope? Almost like a leash where they have them, or they're like all holding hands in a line together.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm on the right path and I know what I need to do, but my mind or my subconscious like keeps pulling me away from the line. And so the guides and the channeling keeps me in the line. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you use that example, because I feel that way sometimes too. Because, you know, we have just random thinking, random thoughts all over the place. Like, let's do this and let's do. I'm also an MG. I'm also
I
a
know you are.
So it's like, you know, we have like 10 ideas a day.
I know. And they're crazy sometimes. And sometimes they seem like such super good ideas. And then I'm like, okay, just let's
calm down.
Chill. Yeah, let's just calm down. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that you almost like use it. It sounds like to me you're using almost like a tool of meditation, you know?
It is. It really is, because I, you know, as manifesting generator, I have tons of energy and tons of, you know, ideas. And so it's almost like a grounding. It grounds me back to the path I know that I'm on and that I need to be on. And yeah, so it's very grounding for me. Yeah.
Yay, I'm so happy to hear that. That's wonderful. Yeah, because, you know, a lot of times when you first try channeling, it seems like such an out there idea. But once you get used to it, it's just another tool, you know?
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I was raised Catholic, and, you know, the thought of channeling, oh my gosh, like, I mean, because it was like, you know, real nuns with like head to toe habits and the big scary rosary beads, and like even like getting your palm read or anything would have sent you straight to hell in my Catholic school years. And so just I had to get over that kind of Catholic mentality. But now I realize that it's not like I'm even, because they would have taught us that we were connecting to like the devil or something. But now I realize that it's not even really, it's just my higher self. You know what I mean? It's a connection to the divine. It's not like I'm inviting in, you know, Lucifer, you know, like evil spirits, or, you know, I don't need an exorcism. It's just tuning. It's almost like tuning my frequency to be able to talk to my higher consciousness in a sense. Mm. And so it's not like I'm opening myself up to bad spirits the way I was taught in Catholic school. It's just tuning myself to the frequency to be open to hear these messages.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, channeling is just like anything else. Like the more you practice, the more comfortable you get.
Yeah.
Right. So, and eventually you get to actually fine tune that skill. Cause I at first was just connecting with the guides. They feel pretty easy. And then it got to a point where like, I felt like, okay, now I need to really get to know them individually, almost like as friends. You know, then I started to talk to like Kuan Yin and Mary Magdalene, like really specific guides. And now it's like, everybody's my buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like you get to choose which guy you want to talk to. And that's, I don't know if I'm going to offer like channeling class number 2, but you know, there is kind of that next element of fine tuning your radar. You've like that's like pointing your remote control to the specific thing you want to channel. And then more
to your specific Netflix channel you want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the Mary Magdalene channel, please. Thank you.
She's like no nonsense, you know?
No, I've been working with her a lot lately. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't mess around. She's a lot of fun too.
Yeah. They're all just different. Like they have different energy, you know, but of course, as a collective, they come through and, you know, they're basically on the same wavelength. They all want you to be happy and, you know, in a good space in life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, thank you so much for sharing your experience. That was really fun to get to know and hear your perspective.
Thank you. Well, thank you for offering the live class and for teaching this. It's really been a big enhancement to my life. So
I so appreciate that. Thank you so much, Rosemary.
You're so welcome.
Okay, well, take care. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.